Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Remember, you're good-looking because you're always looking for and finding the good. And you found good in abundance because you have used your most valuable asset, your time, for good reason and good purpose and productivity today. Because you decided to tune in to Eye on Las Vegas with your humble host, Barry Shore, the ambassador of joy. So, couple quick things. Las Vegas. Everybody in the world knows the name of the city called Las Vegas, the city that never sleeps, the city of energy. Well, give me an example of something remarkable. There are more than 40 million people that come through Las Vegas every year and visit. Actually, it's about 40.8 million. Now, to put that in perspective, if you take the entire population of the state of California, one of the largest in the United States and one of the most populous, and you add in the entire population of the state of Oregon, and you add in the entire population of the state of Washington, it doesn't come up to 40.8 million. So we have more people coming through here in the course of a year than in all those states along the west coast of the United States of America. And what happens? What is the result? And why are they coming? Because this is a city of energy. And you are about to meet one of the most energetic, positive, purposeful, powerful, pleasant people I've ever had the pleasure of interacting with and sharing and going to respect and love. And his name is Beejel Parmar. Welcome, wonderful Beejel. First of all, say hello to 382,922 people around the world.
That's going to take me a lot of time, Barry. So I'm going to say one big hello to everybody out there.
Thank you. Thank you. So if you're only listening, you can hear this great voice and this wonderful accent on Beejel. And if you have the opportunity to be watching, and I urge you to do that because you get to see his beaming countenance and this great yellow shirt that has the letters BEE and a picture of a bee, and then the word epic. And then I'll talk about outsourcing. But his name is Beejel. Let's just have a lot of fun to start. And first of all, say thank you for you being here, Beejel. Beejel, spelled Beejel. What a great name. So you hail from the country of India. Actually, you're called the. Is that correct?
Yes, and so my heritage is Indian, but I was born in the UK in Indian parents. But yes, I'm basically, our family's from India. The northwestern part of India, a state called Gujarat.
Gujarat.
Yeah.
Yes, the very famous state. So that's why you hear that beautiful lilting English accent.
Exactly.
And now Beejel, do you know what the name Beejel means?
Yeah, it's actually made up of two words, actually. The first part is Beej, B-E-E-J, which basically means seed in Sanskrit. So basically, it's the seed mantra, the seed or the root. And El basically comes from the Hebrew, and you might know this too. But it basically, the source of that word is basically power, divine power, however you want to phrase it. So Beejel literally translates into the seed of power.
And he embodies it. We're going to talk about him. He is such a positive, uplifting being. If you're ever near Beejel, he radiates energy, and you can even feel it through the airwaves here on the internet around the world. And again, I want to emphasize what he's done is that he finds the positive in everything. And part of it is that he has recognized that a bee or the bee is one of the most important members of our world, because without bees, we don't have anything growing or the way that it grows now, the ability to pollinate, to be productive, to be beautiful. So let's just go right into it and talk about what I call POV. Now, POV sometimes stands for point of view, but for you, because what you're going to be sharing with us is POV stands for productivity, outsourcing, virtual assistants. So let's just begin with you. BeEPic. What the heck was epic mean?
Yeah, great. So, I've been an entrepreneur since 2020, more or less, on and off. And I recognize, having met so many other entrepreneurs in that time period, maybe 3,000 to 5,000 one-on-one conversation, we're all on this epic journey, our own unique epic journey through life, right? We watch the movies for these epic journeys, and these epic journeys usually have highlights, low light, things go wrong. We face challenges along the way. So in our own way, every entrepreneur is on their epic journey. Now, a little bit closer to home, though, the reason that my company is called BeeEPic Outsourcing is, as you mentioned, the bee is a symbol. It's always been a symbol of productivity, probably one of the most productive creatures on the planet. But I like to say, bees serve their unique purpose. Every bee has a very unique value and purpose in the hive. They serve their hive, aka their community, and bees ultimately serve humanity, right? As you mentioned. So I think as entrepreneurs, we need to serve our unique purpose on our epic journey. We need to serve our community, whatever that means to us individually, whether it's our neighborhood, a country, but ultimately, we're here to serve humanity. So we entrepreneurs need to be a little bit more be-like in terms of waking up and becoming productive and getting things done, so we can serve our purpose, our community, and humanity.
So let's talk about this remarkable word called service, which is the essence of life. See, once you and you recognize that you are an entrepreneur, and by the way, everybody listening or watching is an entrepreneur, even if you think that you're an employee, you really want to have an entrepreneurial mindset, which is service. See, once you understand, I'll share this with you, wonderful Beejel, and then we'll talk more in depth about what you're doing in this epic consulting and outsourcing. It happened to me when I was 9 years of age, and I was an entrepreneur from the time of 9. I grew up in a place called Boston, Massachusetts. We had snowstorms, and God willing, sometimes the 6-7 inches of snow, they call off school. Instead of going back to bed or playing games, I dressed up, went out and shoveled snow, and thank God, made a lot of money shoveling snow at 9 years old. I came back one time. I had made $55 in one day of shoveling snow. Didn't stop. My allowance was 25 cents a week. Why do I tell you this? When I came back in the house, at the end of the day, my father was making me a beautiful mug of hot chocolate. And he said to me, "My dear beloved son," he used to like saying that, "My dear beloved son, how do you spell business?" Business. He says, "Right. Notice that the U comes before the I." When you are out there giving the best you can and helping your friends, your family, your clients, your associates, your peers, and you do that, the I will always be taken care of, just like you said. When you become epic, well, what does epic stand for, wonderful Beejel?
Yeah, so really it's a reflection on my career as an entrepreneur. And the E stands for efficiency. Ultimately, what that means to me is the best use of my time, right? So efficiency is about use of time. You can also extend that to use of resources, but in this particular case, it's about use of time. P is about productivity, is about producing a desired result, right? On any given day. Even if that means we're not working, we're not actually doing, say, business work or career, and we're planning a day off or a family day. Are we producing the result on that given day? I is about being intentional, about waking up and being intentional. B, they're very intentional. They know what their daily mission is, whatever that role is, right? And C is basically about commitment or completion. I think one of the things that holds so many entrepreneurs back is that we start things, but we don't always complete or finish things. So that's kind of on the mission. Hey, complete what you start, or just cancel it, put it away, but don't start a project and leave it hanging in the air.
Again, if you are able to be watching, it's even better. If you're listening, you have just been handed a gem, a polished gem that is glistening and glowing, because I want everybody to understand that to hear it once is great. I urge you, listen to this again, 3 times actually. First time now, experience him. Second time, listen more deeply, maybe take notes. And the third time, when you go back in, take notes and decide with action that you're going to do some of what we're going to learn today. Beejel, I really love something you said here in productivity. There is a remarkably important man named John Wooden. John Wooden is is a famous coach in basketball, the most winning basketball coach in the history of college sports. And John Wooden has a great line for life, because he said, "I don't make basketball players, I make men." He said, "Do not confuse activity with achievement." Like you said, commit to complete. That's truly epic. That's wonderful. Let's talk about something else that you mentioned, which I really, it touches me because it affects everybody. Again, everybody is an entrepreneur. It's your mindset that really gives you the ability to be an entrepreneur, and we'll discuss more deeply later. I want to talk about this great line that you have called DOD. DOD, delegate or drown. Okay, Beejel, what is this? We don't want people to drown. Therefore, what?
So this is again 20 odd years in this. So my first 10 years, I was in the introduction to entrepreneurship. Maybe you start off at a workshop. Maybe you read a book or whatever. So we jump into this world of entrepreneurship, and we pick our opportunity. We pick what we're going to work on, and it looks so glossy on the outside. And we dive in and say, oh yeah, this is what I'm going to be doing. But as we get deeper into whatever business, whichever business vehicle you've chosen, we start to realize, and maybe we don't realize, that 80% or more is basically busy, mundane. I call it morbid. The mundane, the overwhelming, the repetitive, the boring, the I don't like doing this, and the dislike doing stuff in our business. But we don't often recognize that in the time. And when we're going through the morbid experience, we don't often recognize that that's what we've ended up doing. So what do? We go to another event, we see another shiny dangly object, and we switch. Oh, that business isn't working for me. This business, though, oh my God, this business looks so shiny. It looks so gold. Let me change and start doing that. So next thing you know, we're doing that. Or now we're doing two things. A few weeks go by, a few months go by, maybe a few years go by. Again, we're getting sucked into the morbid stuff again of our business. Remember, the mundane, the overwhelming, the repetitive, the boring stuff. I don't want to do that stuff. The dislike doing stuff. And again, another shiny dangly object comes. And again, this is it. This is the business that's going to take me to my dreams. So we start something new. Anyway, do that for about 9 years. I'm talking about myself here. And you realize.
Anyway, I want to interrupt you for a moment, because what Beejel is sharing with us right now is profound, in the sense that he's not talking about theory. He's talking about him. We're not calling it wasting years, but him going through SOS, shiny object syndrome. And it's always good, isn't it, Beejel? I mean, it's real, it's there. And then finally you wake up and recognize, now what do you do?
So that happened when I picked up the book, The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. And in that book, plenty of lessons, but I'm going to summarize it to 3 key lessons here, Barry. That what is the best use of my time, my skills, my talents, my interest? What is that? Everything that's not that, basically, I should be looking for a way to delegate that to somebody else, right? How can we live in joy if we're basically drowning in the morbid things day to day? And finally, there is a way to leverage lower cost, higher value, global labor, no matter what business we are in. So 3 key takeaways. That's when I basically changed my approach.
Actually, before you go to the 3, I want to go back to what you just said, because it's truly foundational and vital, not just important, vital. Low cost, high value, worldwide access, because that's the world we live in. Low cost, high value. We're going to do a very quick commercial break, less than a minute. And again, we wouldn't have people on our show if we didn't vet them. And we urge you to consider using their service or product. We're right back with Beejel, more of him, and he's hardly morbid. He's full of joy and energy right after this brief message. Do not go away. This is marvelous.
What if you could shop at your favorite local stores, swipe your current credit card, and get extra cashback rewards? And what if you could also have donations sent to your favorite cause at no extra cost to you? What if this amazing program was absolutely free and very simple to set up? Well, What If is here. Welcome to Einstein Cares, where your everyday shopping gives you and your favorite cause extra money. It's fast, it's easy, and effortless.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Maybe you're good-looking because you're always looking for and finding the good. We found good in abundance. This is remarkably powerful, purposeful, positive, pleasant, productive, not just information, not just inspiration, transformational processes. And it's a dear friend of mine. His name is Beejel Parmar. Beejel, Beejel. As he said, it's Beej is one word, El is another. And together he brings us the power of virtual assistants. Wow. Now that sounds like an AI type of thing, but it's not, is it, Beejel? What is it?
Well, okay. So just before the break, you mentioned another word, vital. So while the industry has referred to the human overseas labor as virtual assistants, I'm not a big fan of this word virtual. The word virtual, the root basically means not real. And virtual assistants, as I know them and understand them, are real human beings just in different places in the world. I like to refer to them, though, as vital assistants because they're going to do the vital work in the business. Now, that morbid stuff we talked about, it may be morbid, but it's still vital to the business. In fact, I would say it's the bedrock of almost any business. Once we get past the flashy websites and the funnels and everything else, it's this morbid work, which is the foundation that actually is the engine that runs the entire business. And if we're not being prepared to do it, somebody has to. And that's where vital human assistants can come in and play a vital role in helping us grow our business, run our business, and scale our business.
And this is outsourcing.
This is the umbrella of outsourcing. So think about this, Barry. At the very top, we have this umbrella called productivity. How are we going to be more productive? How do we produce a better result while being efficient and best use of time? Below that is the world of outsourcing. Outsourcing is basically every time you give work to somebody or some entity outside of your current business, and basically not a full-time employee that you've hired. And virtual assistance is a subcomponent of that outsourcing, right? So in many ways, when we hire an accountant, we are outsourcing our accounting work to that accountant or a bookkeeper, right? But the vital assistants are basically, they come in and they do that morbid work, those little tasks that we find annoying, those little tasks that we resist doing on a day-to-day basis, right? We know what we should be doing. All the experts can tell us. We can watch, we can go through workshops and courses and TEDx talks and all these books and all these tips and all these TikTok experts telling us what to do. But somebody at the end of the day has to do that vital work. And that's where VAs, as we refer to them, VAs, vital assistants, come in and play that critical role.
And the genius of what you do and how you stand out in a very competitive industry that, as you said, low cost, high value. So right away you have my attention. When I say my, meaning me, Barry Shaw, yes, and anybody who's listening who has anything to do with building their business. Low cost, high value. Oftentimes that seems to be incompatible. And you're saying, Barry Shaw, I love you. Let me show you how. Low cost, high value, because we are global. And when global doesn't mean people who are working for a bowl of rice a day, it just means they live in other countries. They could be educated, highly capable. They live in different environments. And therefore, being able to serve, let's say, take America as an example, they can be able to serve the American process of business, morbid tasks, and do them efficiently. And what is low cost to America could be of good value to someone living in another society. So it's low cost, high value, global. So let's go deeper into what you are uniquely providing, my dear friend Beejel.
So to explain that, I need to explain kind of the 2/3 sides of this industry. One is working through an agency. Now, people often confuse us for the typical agency, but let me explain the difference because it's really important. So generally speaking, an agency will hire somebody overseas and maybe, I'm going to just use some round numbers, Barry, pay them $3 per hour. They then sell that person for about 2 to 5 times markup, often as much as $12, $15 per hour. And look, there's nothing wrong in markups as long as the value is being provided. Okay. However, a lot of times they're squeezing the pay down of the VAs. In fact, many of the VAs that have come out of call centers were getting paid even less, about $1.50. And this is basically ultimately working for like your Fortune, big companies, okay, Fortune 100, Fortune 500, but they're getting squeezed down on pay. Now, what that means to the end user or to the client is basically they're paying a big markup fee for somebody getting paid not a lot. Now, on the other side, flip side, there is basically hiring direct, right? So a lot of people start off with an agency because they feel comfortable, they feel safer. Then they basically wake up one day and say, hang on a second, why am I paying $10, $12, $15 per hour for somebody that all these gurus are telling me may be costing me about $5 per hour, right? So then said, okay, let me go hire somebody direct. Well, oftentimes they try and steal or borrow that VA from that company and say, hey, come work for me directly, which is kind of breaking a few ethical rules. Then they go to like hiring direct. This is great. You save a lot of money by hiring direct. However, there's a lot of uncertainty when you do that. There's a lot of not knowing who you're going to end up with. There's things called ghosting, where if something goes wrong, the VA in another part of the world would literally just disappear. They won't respond. They'll change their email. You'll never hear them again. Then there's fronting. Fronting is where the most well-spoken member of the family is the one that people interview. But behind the scenes, they've got cousins, uncle, aunts, brothers, sisters, cousins doing the work. Again, maybe not being a big issue. So what we did is we said, right, how do we take the best of the best and negate the stuff that doesn't work for people? So we developed a pioneering model. We call it a no markup fee direct hire model, yet we still provide the support that both the paying client requires and what we refer to as the serving client, in terms of we look at our VAs as clients too. Both
Mhm.
both of these have to match, be compatible, and be happy in what they're doing, right? So that's kind of our role. So we've taken a membership type model and applied it to this industry where we can still provide support, we can still bridge the gap, the uncertainty, because our VAs are hired locally. We have a local team. We do local events in the Philippines where they come together every 3-4 months. They do VA to VA trainings. We do a social event. It creates the bond. It creates higher trust, higher reliability. They feel part of something bigger. They feel part of a hive, a collection of individuals, even though they're individually serving entrepreneurs all over the world.
So first of all, I have several questions, and I trust that people are leaning in and doing what I asked, which is don't take notes right now. Everything you need to know is going to be available to you because we record this, even though we're live, we're recording it as well. And I urge everybody, ask for the recording because this is something you need to listen to again and take notes, and then listen to again and take notes so you can contact Beejel. Everything you want to know about Beejel and what he's doing and the vital assistance, meaning assistants, people and assistants, that which he's providing, it should be available to you. So you can just go to my website, barryshore.com, and everything about Beejel will be there. So it's really important to understand what you just said. Let's focus on two things. Number one, we're working with people in the Philippines. These are highly skilled, trustworthy, capable people that speak English well, know what to do, as you said, have been schooled already in different areas of working together with American companies and having a knowledge of what American companies need, oftentimes, whether it's customer service, booking appointments, et cetera, and yet the gap between what they're earning and what is marked up to people has now been moved closer so that the assistant can do better, the client receives high value, and we want to make sure that you, Beejel, you make money as well. It's very important that everyone understand that he was talking before about getting somebody and squeezing them. Well, why do you want to squeeze that person who's vital to you? It's the absolute opposite of serving. As I said, with my father said, business, the U comes before the I. When you recognize that there's a winning element to everybody in the process, then everybody wins. There's so much available in business. It's not a shrinking pie, it's a growing pie. And I just want to tell you, Beejel, how much I appreciate what it is that you're bringing here with this low cost, high value mindset, and getting people to understand that the D of distraction doesn't have to be there. You don't have to drown. You can learn to delegate. It does take a little bit of time to learn how to do it. It's a skill. Once you do it, you tell me, Joe, doesn't it change your life for the better?
I want to put it in context, Barry. I had to go to India a few weeks ago. I wasn't planning not to work, right? It was the kind of thing we just had to take care of. It was timely. And then we wanted to add on a kind of a 10-day yoga and meditation retreat. The first 2.5 weeks did not go to plan. I didn't get to check in with my team. I didn't get to be on client calls. However, over that 30-day period, I worked a total of maybe 2, maybe 3 hours. I'm talking total. The team ran everything. Now, it wasn't overnight, as you said. It's taken time to build a team, but they did. Literally, we did not work for a whole month, and the business continued to run, to grow, and to thrive. So that's what's possible. But it's not an overnight thing. It is a skill. We have to be patient. We have to be willing to put a little bit of time up front into making it work. But when we do, it's magic.
Magic is the essence of Las Vegas, by the way. The reason I asked Beejel to be here is because he represents to me what Las Vegas is all about. Again, when you have 40 plus million people coming through any particular place, there's energy here. And there is no better face of energetic enthusiasm and productivity than Beejel. I want to go, we only have a few more minutes, but I really want to make sure that everybody understands that what you're offering here literally will shift a perspective in business. I have a dear friend who's very famous in the business world, and he has a great phrase, which is, you need to learn how to work on your business, not in your business. When you can work on your business, which is what you're talking about, then the ability to be not absent, but not present necessarily for days on end, because the team knows what to do. Team stands for together, everyone achieves miracles. I might just change it a little bit. Together, everyone achieves magic, because you said it. So Beejel, we only have a minute in closing. Give us 1 minute of power when it comes to the idea of productivity, vital assistance, and outsourcing.
Great. I'm going to wrap up with this. 6 questions. What are you working on right now in your business? Where is your focus? What's the best use of your time in achieving those goals or overcoming those challenges? Number 3 is, what are you spending your time on day to day right now that's preventing you or holding you back from achieving those goals and overcoming challenges? Question number 4, what is it you dislike doing day to day that's draining your mental energy, draining your desire to do things that's, again, holding you back from achieving those goals and overcoming challenges? And question number 5 is, what are you resisting doing? What do you know you should be doing that you are resisting doing, that if you start doing them would help you achieve those goals and overcome those challenges? And number 6, once you've got that list down from questions 3, 4, and 5, pick 3 to 5 things to start with, and that's your starting point when it comes to delegating.
So this is why I love Beejel. Gave us a number of things. Again, I want you to listen the second time and a third time. Choose 3. When you can choose 3 that really disturb your equilibrium and allow you to breathe again and get you to work on your business, not in your business, everything will open up. You will not only be more productive, you'll be more profitable. You'll be happier, healthier, and wealthier. We guarantee it. Who doesn't want that? Wonderful, Beejel. I'm going to tell you that on our show, what we do is we complete our show by doing a hug. Let me tell you what HUG stands for. Heartfelt, unlimited giving, which is what you're all about. Are you ready, sir? On the count of 3.
Ready. I'm
1,
ready.
2, 3. Roar! Thank you ever so much for being here. Everybody, remember, listen again, because this is powerful.
What if you could shop at your favorite local stores, swipe your current credit card, and get extra cashback rewards? And what if